Welcome to the Sports Machine with Brian and Dean. Wednesday, December 23rd, recording in Dallas, Texas. Great show lined up today. NFL Power Rankings, NFL headlines, NBA headlines, Hall of Fame basketball nominees. Discuss some of the players that are involved in that. Somebody's got to get really, though, maybe even more than one over there.
Yes. Oh, yes, there will be more than one. It's like As you know, we not stingy with our really those. Anybody will get it. From the president to the football player that's on the streets. You'll get it. If you knock on that door.
We will definitely answer in an abrupt fashion. I think we should lead off today's show with the NFL Pro Bowl selections.
Most definitely. Some surprises in there.
Some surprises. I'll just get straight started with the quarterbacks. No huge surprises to me. Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Carson Palmer, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, and Russell Wilson.
Right.
The only person maybe Andy Dalton.
Right.
To me. Because Andy Dalton was in the MVP discussion before he got hurt.
Right. So he goes down as one of your snubs?
I would say snubs, but you can't complain about any of the guys in the list.
Right.
It's like somebody's gonna be left out.
Especially when you got a broken thumb. It's not like you're gonna.
He might come back. There's still hope. Have you not read the headlines?
Yeah, I've heard that. And if that's what they have to do to continue to sell tickets,
it's not about tickets.
It is about because it's like
in the playoffs. It's about hope.
Yeah. Hope and selling tickets. It's hope and selling tickets.
Never about the tickets. Never about the money.
That's what a good friend of mine by the name of Brian Franklin said. You never trust a man who doesn't care enough about money. Close quote.
I didn't make that up. It was from a movie. I just happened to quote it.
But you've taken it and made it your own. Like if you could, you'd get that put on a shirt. You'd get that put on a shirt.
I'd wear it. I'd wear the shirt.
Exactly. But hey, it's no different from the Cowboys too. Like we're not gonna put Tony Romo on injury reserve until we.
Well, why not?
Yeah, they can keep that hope, that false hope. That was a lie.
I
I knew the truth. Everybody in Cowboys Nation knew the truth, and if you didn't know the truth, then hey. But back to the point. Are you surprised at about how many teams with the Cowboys? Cowboys had four Pro Bowlers.
They have a lot of good individuals.
Right. They had four. I'm a little bit surprised at the number of players. Like I think Carolina had 10. I'm a little bit surprised at that. I can understand. When I look at the season that Jonathan Stewart has. I can understand him being in. I could also understand, of course, Cam Newton. You can understand Josh Norman. You could also understand Luke Kuechly. And I can even understand tight end Greg Olsen, who's had a great season, having a great season. That's like 5. Now, the other 5 are kind of, a couple of their offensive lineman guys. I think their fullback is in the mix. So that was a bit of a wow, okay, all right.
Thomas Davis, linebacker.
He's been snubbed a lot, so he's good for that. So I guess 6 of them I agree with. The other ones on the team is kind of But once again, if this team makes it to the Super Bowl, none of those guys will be playing anyway.
True that. Very true. So you mentioned Jonathan Stewart.
Right.
The other running backs, Adrian Peterson, LaShawn McCoy, Todd Gurley, Devontae Freeman, and Doug Martin were selected.
I have no problem with that.
I don't see any snubs there.
Right.
I looked at the wide receiver list, and I saw a snub. You have Odell Beckham Jr. Antonio Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Brandon Marshall. I'm cool with all those. Well, what has Calvin Johnson done this year to deserve a spot ahead of Allen Robinson from Jacksonville?
That's a good question. this hasn't been one of his best seasons compared to what the Calvin Johnson, the Megatron that we've used to seeing or have seen before. He's had a down year, so I mean, I'm a bit surprised that he's on the list as well. When you go with when you say Hearns, like you can say Hearns.
I was saying Robinson.
Oh, okay, Robinson.
I mean, Robinson's 7th in the league in receiving yards, tied for 1st in touchdowns.
You're right. You could. I would also. I know he's had a lot of drops this year, but I also like the rookie sensation up there in Oakland.
Amari Cooper.
Right. I've liked what he's done. I've liked what he's done some this year. I like the way Doug Baldwin has come on late as well.
I don't have any problems with either of those guys.
Right.
I just thought Robinson was the biggest one to me. I mean,
right. Especially you stay tied for touchdowns.
Yeah, with Odell Beckham.
Right.
Jr.
So needless to say, he's having a phenomenal year, especially when it comes to scoring the football.
Most definitely. Another snub to me when you go to the tight end list. Tyler Eifert and Rob Gronkowski don't have huge problems with.
Right.
Travis Kelce and Greg Olsen are close to me because the boy Barnage out of Cleveland.
Oh yeah, came out of nowhere.
Has been balling.
As a matter of fact, he played a couple of years ago with the Panthers. I think last year he was playing with the Panthers as well.
See, when you look in the tight end spots, Barnage is up there in most of the categories, especially when it comes to touchdowns and receptions.
It has helped being their downfield threat
He's,
as a tight end at that.
Yeah,
and we've seen him flank out in the receiver position. Could you imagine had he stayed in Carolina, the 2 tight end set with those, like, knowing what Barnage is now? Like, could you imagine had, like, knowing that they don't necessarily have their best receiver coming out in Carolina? Yo, those 2 tight ends on the same team, like you. I always like the 2 tight end formation. I can't even lie. So that's what I think about with things like this. Like, yo, they could make some noise in the middle of the field with these type of guys. But I could understand that. Once again, like I said, with Kelce and Olsen, it's you have no problems with it, but it's like what did Barnage do to
not be on the list?
Right.
Was my main concern.
Right.
And Darren Sproles made it. I thought that was cool.
Right.
I mean,
he's always consistent though. Like
Exactly.
I would like him on. Honestly, I would love to have him on on the Cowboys, but if it wasn't for the fact that Cowboys offense could be so vanilla and have good guys and not know how to use them type of deal, I'd love to have him on the team, but he deserves it being one of those offenses with like Sean Payton and up there in New England where Josh Childress is running things, dynamic type of offensive guys. You could even say Andy Reid. Same thing off in Arizona with their head coach over there, Bruce Arians. Like guys who know how to actually utilize their weapons the right way.
About the Pro Bowl, are you gonna watch the Pro Bowl?
For the first time, I didn't watch it last year.
I think it's kind of cool with the whole draft thing,
Right.
and not being AFC, NFC.
Right.
I think it's kind of cool. I think it adds another element to it.
Right. Like, who's your first overall pick out of Pro Bowl selections? Like, I did watch that when Dion, who was that? Somebody else, I think. I watched their draft the low deal that they had on NFL Network, but I didn't watch the game last year. I forgot what I was doing, like why the game was on, but I didn't watch it.
I just feel like it would be motivation for a team, for a player, extra motivation. Because it's easy to throw it off when it's like, you made it. You know who you're playing with. Like, someone passed up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you thought he was better than me? Like, I thought that might be a key factor in motivation. 'Cause I know that would motivate me. Oh, you passed up on me for him, huh?
Okay, right.
I'm about to prove it right here.
You and I've had this discussion more than a couple of times. I wish they bring back the Pro Bowl festivities that they used to have, like you said, like the 40-yard dash or the 100-yard dash
I'd
and
love to
things
see
like that.
Mike Vick go out there and
Right.
mop some.
And just have, because like I think that was like their headline. That was the headline of the Pro Bowl, like the little pre-festivities type of deal, where the 100-yard dash, like when they would have it last, sort of like the fastest, like the 40-yard dash. It was one of them, but it was always the highlight, the main part of the show where every day would always keep it last. It was like everybody was geared in to see who was the fastest player, like in the Pro Bowl, or who was the fastest guys, period.
It's kind of like the NBA's All-Star Weekend. You know, you have dunk contests,
Right.
3-point shooters.
Right.
Everybody watches it, probably more than the All-Star game itself.
Right.
I mean, it's the whole event, the whole weekend.
I would like to see them do like like with the freshman sophomore game. I like to see something like that with the NFL, but in a 7-on-7 type of format. Like not necessarily get these guys all the way out there suited up, padded to play, but
Just 7-on-7 rookies or something like that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. 7-on-7 rookies versus like the top sophomores or something from this year, you know what I'm saying? I think that would actually be pretty cool.
I do as well. The NFL could improve upon it, but I think a lot of it has to do with the players more than the NFL. Because I don't think the NFL has any problem making these things up. But
Right.
Getting the players willing to put in extra work for free.
Right. But then
Not
when
really
you got
for free, but it's like you're not getting any extra money for doing it.
right. And then you also think about the way these guys are out there, like we said before, you always one play away from a ACL, dislocated ankle, or something fluky to happen to you, torn hamstring, pulled hamstring. I know it's at the end of the season, but when you start thinking about ACLs and things like that, the stuff that's going to take you a year to come back from, it's like, well, your 2016 season is pretty much
Done over a 40-yard dash.
right. So I could also understand that thought process.
I can understand why the players wouldn't necessarily be too keen on doing extra work,
But it would
and
still be
risking
so
injury.
fun.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I mean, it'd be good for me.
Entertaining for us.
I would like it.
Right.
I don't think players care though.
Right.
I'm not sure why they would.
Rightfully so, unless they get into, like you said, I think what the winners of the Pro Bowl game gets like a extra $50,000 in their pockets. I think the losers get like 15 or 20. I'm not sure if those numbers are exactly right, but I think it's somewhere in there. It's like winners get like 50 grand, losers wind up getting like 10 or 15 or something like that. Have to look that up and be for sure, but somewhere along the line there. But either way, it's still like you got an extra stack. You got some extra stacks in your bank account for just having fun.
For the most part,
Right.
it's all about the risk reward. Say some player. I mean, it's kind of like baseball has that same problem.
Right.
Getting the players to actually participate in the game, in which actually has meaning.
Right.
In baseball, I mean, that decides home field advantage. Like, you would think you'd
That
wanna
would be
play.
very
Like,
exactly.
all right, we need this. But I
It's-
guess not everybody's competing like that.
Especially when like you playing on a team that could potentially be there. Like if you're Kansas City or if you're Toronto or somebody, you think like you said hey, we need to go out here and make this happen because we plan on being.
Say
there.
not every. I don't like the fact that every team has to have an all-star in baseball either. That's further discussion
Right.
for another day.
But the home run derby goes hard.
I don't think so. It'd be boring to me. Coming up on Sports Machine, NFL Power Rankings. Sports Machine with Brian Dean just went over the Pro Bowl selection, some snubs. Briefly talked about Dean digging the long ball.
I like the home run derby. I mean, shoot me down.
I'm
There.
gonna shoot you out. Like a lot of people do. I still like the dunk contest and the 3-point, even though no one else does.
I like the whole NBA festivities. Like even like you said, the rookie sophomore game, the point guard skills challenge. Like I like watching all of it. Like it's entertaining to me. Like you can actually revolve my day around it. It's like, all right, gotta make sure I'm get home behind around this time so I can watch this.
I agree. NFL Power Rankings. I think it's safe to assume that the number one team is going to be Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, without question.
It's been really easy to do number one teams in Power Rankings
Right.
all season long.
Right.
except for 1 week, which Patriots let me down.
Twice.
I did after the first loss. I still thought they were number one. I still kind of think they were the best team. But
And then they let Philly run up in there and
they did.
squat on them.
They have a lot of injuries.
Yeah. I won't shoot you down. I can't shoot that down. Like, it's true. And Tom Brady is already.
If it wasn't for Tom Brady,
right.
This season would be for
Y'all
most people.
You almost wanted to be like the Cowboys.
I don't be like the Cowboys. Cowboys are another beast. We're not even gonna put them on the power rankings. We don't go that deep into the power rankings.
No, and they haven't been in the power rankings at all this season.
Would they be in the top 30?
Well, it's only 30-something.
There's 32 teams. There's 32 teams. Are they in the top two? Are they in the top 30?
Yeah, most definitely. Like,
so they're better than 3 teams in the NFL. That's good.
yeah, and that's not saying a whole lot.
It's not. Number 2 on the NFL power rankings, I have the Patriots.
I got the Arizona Cardinals, and then the Patriots.
I have a flip flop, but
Okay.
I like the Cardinals a lot too. If their 2 losses came from turnovers, and I feel like they've pretty much cleaned that up. Carson Palmer is trying to make his little run at the MVP, but unfortunately, he's in the league with Cam Newton and Tom Brady doing what they're doing.
Right.
Number 4, I would say Pittsburgh.
You taking Pittsburgh for?
Yeah, the way they've played recently.
I'm going to mess your head up. I'm going to mess everybody's head up with this one, but it's my power rankings. I got the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it before you said it, but I saw it coming, kind of.
Yeah, it's like I said, like, man, I've said this every week about this team since they begun their win streak, and look like the team of old. They're hitting their stride at the right time. They're clicking out on all cylinders at the right time.
They are.
I mean,
Russell Wilson's been playing phenomenal for the last 5 games.
right. And it's crazy because, like, when you think about this, B, the only reason why, in my opinion, Russell Wilson, like, his play as of late has been overshadowed by the fact that Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers are undefeated, and everybody's thinking about, can this team win the last 2 games to finish the regular season undefeated. The playoffs is another story, but once again, like, that's the only thing that's overshadowing Russell Wilson and a Doug Baldwin connection, because the Legion of Boom they've played phenomenal on defense. They've gotten their act together, and once again, I mean, you lose Jimmy Graham, and then you turn around and you lose
Losing Jimmy Graham has actually kind of helped him though, because they're
Right.
not forcing it to him anymore.
exactly, and then not having the necessary force the ball to Marshawn Lynch helps them out a lot too. So it's like Russell Wilson is actually back there playing freely.
It really is. Number 5, I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to put I got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
So they are top 5. Because I believe the Steelers and the Seahawks are the 2 teams that people should not want to face in the first round of the playoffs, especially.
I feel like the Seahawks are gonna play the NFC East team.
Right. And
If that happens, it's gonna be fun.
right. And if
I don't
you're
know,
the
the
Seahawks,
Reds-
you really want
The
that.
Redskins have actually been playing pretty well lately.
They played pretty well at home, so if they win out, they will host the game.
They can
So
host the game.
right. So it's like, well, they're not the best road team, but at home they've been pretty decent. And I say decent only because it's like, except for it's the NFC, so
You know you like that.
yeah.
Next, I'll put the Seahawks.
Next, I'll bring in the Green Bay Packers.
I can see that. Finally, number 7, I'll put Cincinnati in. I don't really want to put Cincinnati in because I do not trust that A.J. McCarron is going to be a quality starter one day
Thank you.
based
Thank
on
you.
a 49ers win.
Thank you. Exactly. I have them further down my list, but I actually brought in the Denver Broncos.
I'd bring the Denver Broncos right after that because they're kind of in similar boats.
Right.
but we're assuming Peyton Manning's coming back,
Right.
even though I'm still Brock Osweiler.
Right.
Because
And mainly because you backed him this whole season, so you're not
because I don't think it's his fault that the coaching staff just decided to stop running the ball.
right where it actually had been working for him. So it's like they started testing. Like let's do a test real quick and see. But
No test.
right, because you got the Kansas City Chiefs, who I have right now, coming up right behind them, ready to take that next spot to play at home, actually win the division, and force the Denver Broncos to play in a wild card game on the road.
So that's who I have next on the power rankings is the Chiefs.
You do? Yeah.
You look, the Chiefs play the Browns and the Raiders, so
Right.
I think the Broncos better be very,
Very careful.
because they keep messing around. Round out the top 10. I'll take the Jets.
I have the Jets as well.
It sucks because we have 3 teams in the top 10, which is Jets, Chiefs, and Steelers, and one of those teams is not going to be in the playoffs. But we're going to have an NFC East team.
Right. And it's funny because the Bengals come in at 11, right there with the tied for me with the Minnesota Vikings.
I like the Bengals defense enough to keep them in the top 10.
I like their defense, but once again, it's like
It's really turnover heavy.
exactly. It's
They're not
like
getting turnovers. It is questionable.
my whole deal is, once again, it's no different what you said earlier, and I'm a coattail on that. Like AJ McCarron, they just beat a bad team who's had a lot of holes to fill on that team in San Francisco. You know, they lost like 10 players from their team plus a head coach who helped make them into what was a pretty dominant franchise for a couple of years. So it's like it's like they're a pro football team, right? And they deserve to be respected like a pro football team, but it's like, okay, you done that against a pro football team that's going to be in the top 3 in the draft more than likely. Top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I agree. This is really why I didn't like what I saw. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Like with all the weapons they have, the only way they could try to protect him is by running the football more than he throws it. I'm saying like, excuse me, AJ McCarron could only, in order for this team to advance and even make anything happen, I don't think he can throw the ball more than 25 times.
True.
If he throws the ball more than 25 times, especially more than 30 times, that team will lose. I don't trust AJ McCarron like that. So that's why I said I coattail with you. I co-sign with you on that one.
How close were the Redskins to the top 10?
They're at 13, right there with the they're right there with Houston, as a matter of fact.
I like the Redskins for some reason. Like the way they've been playing lately, just kind of been.
Right. And not to mention, I mean, Deshaun Jackson being back with his team, having fresh legs, because he hasn't played the majority of the first half of the season, and having that dynamic weapon helps out a whole lot. I think Kirk Cousins, I think he's finally gotten the confidence that you need from a starting quarterback.
I mean, he has the job.
Right. So it's like, as the weeks begin to, as the season begins to get later and later, you can see his confidence grow more and more.
Moving on from the power rankings, go straight into the NFL headlines. Keeping it in the NFL on the sports machine. The first headline I see is Drew Brees getting injured. Is it time for the New Orleans Saints to go ahead and move on? But if you move on from Drew Brees, do you also have to move on from Sean Payton?
I don't think you have to move on from Sean Payton. I just think that it's time to move on from Drew Brees, yes. But at the same time, if you could keep him, then go ahead and keep him. Only because they're going to draft a quarterback more than likely in the first round, depending on where they're seated at. So I think they're going to draft a quarterback, and you hope that Drew Brees around just so they could, a lot like how Green Bay did with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Now, Brett Favre didn't want no parts of Aaron Rodgers. Like, he didn't want to show him the ropes or anything like that. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has made that quite clear. Like, a lot of stuff that he learned was just on his own and from watching, minus the help from Brett. But you don't get that same, I don't think we got that same feel like that Drew Brees would be that type of person who wouldn't want to, hey, man, just kind of show him the ropes a bit. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins said the same thing about Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson he attributed a lot of stuff that's been happening well with him with the fact that Andre Johnson had helped him and said, hey, I'm going to show you how to be a pro. Now, if you choose to use it or not, it's totally up to you.
It's hard to show somebody how to take your job, though.
Right.
Especially if you intend on keep playing, because Brett Favre intended on keep playing.
Right.
He didn't intend
So he didn't want to give him like anything an advantage that was going to make him take his spot. I understand that. But I think that goes to show the type of character Andre Johnson had. Like, even though he knew this guy was drafted to take his spot sometime soon, he still showed him the ropes.
Next one, Tyrann Mathieu, out for the season.
Just sucks, man, because he was having a phenomenal year.
Does it affect the Cardinals in a huge way, though? He's a really good player.
Right. I mean, you always need a good like, what I noticed is, like, he's a real ball hawk. Like, I think a lot of people underrated him coming out of the draft and just thought of him as a knucklehead, which is why he failed so far in the draft. And people didn't take time to look and see that, man, this guy here, he can really sit down and play football. He knows what he's doing. He knows the game of football. And so Arizona's been the benefit, they benefited from it a whole lot. And so losing him, I think, is huge. But how much is going to affect him, I think we'll see. Because let's not forget, they lost him I think that was last season with that real horrible same knee injury where it was really jacked up. And it looked like he probably wasn't going to play again, but,
I think the Cardinals' defense is good enough to overcome it, even though he is a really good player.
You know what else that makes me wonder? Because he was still in the game, right? After they had clearly blowed it, like, they was clearly giving Philly the business. And he was still in the game late making plays. And that injury happened on him making a play. It almost makes me wonder whether or not they're going to, knowing that you got the number 1 seed sold up.
Number 2.
Like for Carolina, my bad. I think with Carolina, I think pretty much knowing that the road to the Super Bowl is going to have to go through Carolina. Do you still play Cam Newton as often as you think you would?
I would, just because I'm trying to go undefeated.
Right. So I just kind of wondered about that
I
as well.
The goal is the Super Bowl, but if you go undefeated,
right,
then you're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm trying to win every single game.
Especially when you look at last week when they played the Giants. When they got to Cam Newton, they beat him up. It was more than a couple times. Cam got up looking like, whoa. I'm pretty sure all of Panthers Nation had to been looking like, can we just take him out the game right now? One injury away.
Odell Beckham Jr. has been suspended for a game. Do you agree?
I agree, mainly only because of the shot that he deliberately went and took at a guy.
To the head.
Right. Other than that, I was entertained by the whole him tripping the guy up and him and Josh Norman going at each other. Got to a point to where Odell Beckham wasn't even running a route in the passing down. He was just going straight at Josh Norman. I thought it was entertaining. It was entertaining for me. Like, I didn't want to turn it off the game until it was like halftime and I started checking out other games and things like that. But I watched that game the whole way through. I thought it was entertaining.
I mean, it's entertaining, but at the same time, there is a kind of a limit.
Yeah, he took him out of his game. He took him out of his game.
Not to entertainment. Like, it's not limited to entertainment.
Right.
I mean, shoot, the Malice and the Palace was entertaining.
Right.
Like, I was entertained, but
right.
At the same time, I can't support it.
But see, we have funny personalities like that. Like, we have the kind of sense of humor that most people look at and they'll kind of cringe at certain stuff where we just looking at it like why so serious? Like
what do you expect to happen? You threw a cup on the dude.
Right. Coming from where we from, you throw a beer on somebody, that usually means you truly don't like this person. That means you want to fight this person.
Whether you like me or not. I care less for your likes and dislikes. You throw something on me. It's
like that's a sign of disrespect. That's assault.
Justin Blackman has been arrested once again on a DUI charge.
I don't think he ever gets back in the league.
Well, he's not getting back in the league. At this point, NFL should just go ahead and say, yeah, man, you gonna have to find a different profession.
Right. Try to coach someplace, man, or do something.
Would you hire him as a coach? I wouldn't hire him to do as a coach. He's not gonna be. He's gonna Steve Sarkisian.
I was about to. You stole it right from back. I was about to say, let's not talk about Steve Sarkisian. USC heard about his history, still didn't care.
This history seems worse to me though. Like you couldn't even give it up a little bit just to play in the NFL. He ain't even played.
Yeah, he had one season, his rookie season under his belt, and that was it. Like
this been out since like 2013.
Right.
It's obvious you don't care. What makes you think you're gonna care about coaching?
True story.
Charles Woodson says that he's gonna retire at the end of the season, even though he's still putting up numbers.
Putting up great numbers, man.
A Pro Bowler.
Exactly. What I think what the league is going to miss is just a true, like, I guess he's a true pro. Like, on the field and off the field. Like, that's what I like about Charles Woodson. I mean, one of the first ever defensive players, like, to win the Heisman. I mean, he beat out Peyton Manning and Randy Moss. People forgot about that. People always remember that he beat out Peyton Manning, but they don't remember Randy Moss was third in that Heisman Trophy voting. He was third in that voting, and came in the league and actually done what you expected a Heisman Trophy player to do. He's got a Super Bowl ring with the Packers playing safety, and I think he showed a lot of young players on the team that drafted him, the Oakland Raiders, how to be a pro. I'd love to have this guy on my team as a defensive back coach.
Oh yeah, he could go straight to coaching.
Right.
I believe.
Right.
It doesn't seem like anything would stop him.
Also has the personality to be one of a play-by-play guy, or even an analyst on any of these shows, whether it's NFL Network, Fox Sports Southwest, you name him, he could do it because he has the personality.
Like I said, if you want to go to the Chicago Bears and teach the DBs, it would be greatly appreciated.
You say you all on board for Charles Woodson?
It would be charitable at that point, I believe, because it's not looking very good over there. It's looking pretty atrocious. Coming up on Sports Machine, moving from the NFL to NBA headlines right here. Sports Machine with Brian and Dean. Went over the NFL Pro Bowl selections, NFL Power Rankings, and NFL headlines. Moving from football to basketball. The first thing I want to bring up is the Thunder Clipper game that occurred, in which Kevin Durant decided that he was gonna, stare some.
He stared down.
Stare some people down in a great way.
With the game-winning shot.
I mean,
I was fortunate enough to see the second half of that game. And so I saw when he made the game-winning shot and the look that he gave everybody, like, y'all didn't know that this was going to happen. Y'all thought that this team was going to beat us with me on this team. Really, though? He really though him. Like, that was the look he gave. He gave him the really though look. That's what we going to call that. The really though look.
Game. Blouses.
Straight like that. He just gave him the look like, y'all really thought that they was going to beat us? Are you kidding me? FOH. Hashtag that.
I believe that Kevin Durant was feeling some type of way at the end of that game.
If you saw the look on his face, he did. And then turned around and made the defensive play to win the game to seal it. Like to just put the nail in the coffin with the Chris Paul made a move, was about to get a step back on who was that? Serge Ibaka, they called him Congo. KD stepped over to the side, swat, block, game time. Are you kidding me, CP? What's wrong with you?
Next headline I noticed, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said he has not applied any pressure on the Philadelphia Tanks to change their strategy.
Why would he?
Why would he? Because they're 1-28.
My mistake. Wrong. I guess bad choice of words. Wrong question. I mean, let's not forget, every commissioner everywhere is all paid by the owner. So it's like he can't put pressure on them because he was voted in by the owner of the team. Helped voted in anyway. So it's like
29 other owners that are upset at the fact that their ticket sales drop every time the Tanks roll into town.
Then all the other owners need to go to him and say, sell a squad. Just sell it. Just get rid of it. Because right now you just getting dough off
really
of.
Force it on that though. Especially the last forcing sale kind of was controversial among itself.
Right.
And that was on some.
All they could do is hope that little lottery that they do, that they say that's not rigged, mess around and just hits them in the faces like y'all went and lost all these games and then turn around and got.
You got the 8th pick.
Not even the 8th pick. Just give them a 10. Like 10 pick. It was like, yo. So, how do y'all feel about having like, think about it. I would watch that just to see the look on the owner, like their owner's face. Like, who will they take to the?
I hope they cry.
I would want to see the look on their face, like when they realize, and the number 10 pick goes to Philadelphia 76ers. I like to think if they don't get 1, 2, or 3, they walking out. I'll walk away from the pole. Like, I don't need to sit here. Because I already know what's going to come next. I'm going to be right back here at the same spot next season. You know why? Because they're going to do it again and again.
Next headline, Jimmy Butler said Monday that he does not regret his critical comments about the coach.
I'm tired of Jimmy
Fred
Butler.
Hoiberg.
I understand dude ball. In real talk, he's single-handedly kind of taking the franchise away from Derrick Rose. But it's like, I guess you could say he was probably the one player on the team who didn't want Thibodeau to go. Like, he liked the way, like you say, he liked the fact that Thibodeau pushed him and made him go the extra mile where everybody else on the team is like, yo, we like Hoiberg. Well, like, Hoiberg, we like him. Like, we like the way he coached. They may not be playing that way, but they like the easy practices. So,
I think if I was the coach, he said something like that. You know what, Jimmy? I think you're 100% correct. I need to be hard on you guys. And for your comments, I'm going to be hard on you about to sit on this bench.
yeah.
That's what you have to do. Sit on the bench.
Just,
Sir, stay there.
but then again, now the next
now
question.
You're gonna lose games. I don't care.
The next question after that is, okay, well, why did you bench him? I mean, was you not coaching him hard enough? Like
I was.
Like from this day for out the rest of the season, that's gonna be the exit that they did. Like that's the question the media is gonna ask me all the time.
I would tell
was the
them,
team
ask-
not playing hard enough? Coach, was you not coaching them hard enough?
Yeah, I wasn't coaching them hard enough. Ask Jimmy if I'm coaching them hard enough, sitting on the bench.
Hoiberg will be fired by midseason.
Good. You see the way they're playing? They're so inconsistent, it's ridiculous. They could beat the best team in the league and lose to the worst team in the league.
It sound like my Mavericks right now.
Well, speaking of them, they in the headlines. It's going to be like that. These guys won't be Mavericks for long, says your boy Carlisle.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully.
Like seriously, like
Dirk gonna get cooked.
at one point, say Dirk ain't going nowhere. It's just the other cats on the team, like you said, it's just lackadaisical play. Just these guys going up there, just 1 minute they cool, next minute just no energy at all. I could understand his frustration with that. Like that's one thing I do give credit to Rick Carlisle on. Like he's a consistent guy, and he wants consistency. If you don't give him consistent play, you won't be on the team. You won't be on the team, or you won't play. That was the whole deal with him and Rajon Rondo. It's like, yo, you gonna do it the way I want to do it and sit there. Oh, you're not gonna do it that way? Okay, come here. Hey, come here.
Why can't Hoiberg do that to Jimmy Butler?
Due to the fact that that's not the way he's coached. Like, Carlisle's been that guy. Like, that's what people know about Carlisle.
People can't change for the better.
Then he'll lose the respect of the team. You don't think so?
Respect. He ain't gonna lose respect.
I think he'll lose the respect of the team because, like,
I think Derrick Rose would find it very funny if he benched Jimmy Butler. I'm not saying he would show it and laugh. He doesn't show that he thinks it's funny, but it will be funny. He will laugh on the inside.
no.
You don't think so? You don't think a little piece of him will be happy if Jimmy Butler hit that bench?
It would be funny to me because, like, I'm not, all we do, like, we have the opportunity to sit here and talk about it, so it would give us great conversation.
I think it makes it even funnier for Derrick Rose.
My deal is, if he's going to the media, right, about not being coached hard enough, is in his words.
I'm just coaching him hard enough.
Right.
That's what he wants.
Okay, but if he just went to the media about not being coached hard enough,
And I gave him
what
what
do
he
you think
wanted.
he's going to do about the fact that he just came out as hey, I just spoke my mind. This dude just straight benched me.
Yeah, that's how hard I'm coaching you. We be having weird words.
Wow. Oh, man.
I mean, you're right. He would get fired, but I still think it'd be hilarious.
Right.
I would hire him again.
You would hire him again?
I mean, not in San Antonio. We all had a coach spot taken for a while, hopefully.
Right. I don't think Pop is going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, he has rings on each finger right now.
So they probably need a museum like the boy Stephon Marbury in China.
What do you think they would give Kobe if he went over there and played in China? We was having this discussion a bit early.
A lot. I want a fourth-year land.
And your firstborn son from everybody here. That's a lot of firstborn sons.
A lot.
I mean, think about it.
A lot of child support.
They don't have child support in China. So
sure?
People,
Don't say something you don't know. Somebody out here.
I will
knows the answer
find.
to that.
I think only
They
in
gonna
the
hit you
states.
up.
Only in the states we have child support. Only in the states.
There's no way. There's got to be multiple countries that have child support.
No. Next time on the show, I'll make sure I'll find that out.
If you can
The
keep
United
talking, I will
States.
Google it
Because
right
think
now.
about this right now. Like, ain't nobody else child support nobody else. Because ain't nobody else gonna say this man don't want to be with you no more. So therefore, he shouldn't have to pay you to help take care of the kids. That's how they gonna look at it.
You better keep the conversation. I'm looking over here to look
Because
at child support by country over here.
I'm so serious. Maybe in England. I mean, everybody's close. They're like, we kind of like on the same.
This is according to Wikipedia, which means it's not necessarily a reliable source, but I'm taking it as a reliable source. Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, United Kingdom, of course, the United States.
In Canada.
Canada's not on here. As I say, I'm pretty sure it's
What? Canada don't, So boys, y'all fellas got to start running, run to Canada. Avoid that child support.
there's no getting away from it from the U.S. There's gotta be that can't be all of them.
Yeah, it sounds like all he said.
It can't be all of them. I feel like there's more than that. I'm gonna
He
expose,
gonna ask
I'm
for
gonna
all
expose
of them. But the funny thing about it is they will probably line all of them up. Whose firstborn son is this? He's going with Kobe. Bring him on. Come on. Trust me, kid. Your life will be way more better.
I don't know. The U.S. government got some type of deal to where they can find you in other countries for child support purposes.
And bring you back?
I don't know if it can bring you back, but I know that
If you go to any other country where
they
you
still
got
gonna
child
charge
support.
you.
Man.
Australia, Canada, Czech Republic, El Salvador, Finland, Hungary, Ireland, Israel.
No, you're not
Netherlands,
safe.
Norway, Poland, Portugal, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, Slovak Republic.
God. Even in the Czech Republic, like how y'all even like I didn't even know y'all had ties to the Czech. Goodness. Czech
Child
Republic.
support, they find a way. They find a way.
Say, fam. Czech Republic making sure the U.S. get their checks for real. Czech Republic. They have some pretty women over there. Like females not exactly just horrible looking.
That's why they need a child support.
True story. Oh man,
This is sports related, by the way.
it is so weird.
So sports related. It's all about Kobe and what he would get in China.
That's how it started. That's how we got on the child support deal. Because he would ask me, he'd just say, hey, like you said, a third of your land and everybody's firstborn son.
I mean, if Stephon Marbury gets a museum, it can't be that far fetched.
Right.
I don't think so.
Anybody like super famous, like any star, because like that's one thing they do in China. Like they will go to an event. They go to an event.
I can't act like I.
They make things happen. They build you statues. Like what's your boy name? Soccer dude, real ripped up.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Bartinelli. Didn't they just build him a statue? Yeah, Balotelli. Like, yo, didn't they build him a statue in Italy or something like that? Like a couple of years ago.
They probably should. I know
either they built him one, or he had one built of himself. I remember reading a story about it.
He's way too ripped up to be a soccer player.
Yo,
I realized after he scored a goal and took his shirt off, it's like, dude, put your shirt back on.
like, yo, he done made everybody in the stands like just rethink about what they're eating. It's like, yo, I'm about to eat this Frankfurt, this brat. Ah, crap. Okay. They look at the brat and like, okay, I don't have to eat this now. Like, okay. You know, I think Bratwurst and stuff like that is like super popular over there. That's the only reason I say that. Like, I'm not a fan of the whole Bratwurst and Frank. Like, yeah, none of that.
It's all started with Kobe, future Hall of Famer. Next conversation, sticking to basketball. The nominees for the Basketball Hall of Fame have been announced. Some big names on the list.
Right.
Who should we start with? Let's start with Yao.
Most
I'm gonna start
definitely.
with Yao Ming.
Most definitely.
Cause I like Yao Ming. Yao Ming is not necessarily just for how he played, because he did play well when he played.
Right. And that's not to
But
forget.
his impact on the game
From an international standpoint.
is probably what he's gonna get in for.
Right. He was a good ambassador of the game. You know. Let's not forget, anytime Houston and LA played, it sold out. Like, everybody wanted to see the matchup between Yao and Shaq. Everybody did. Right. If Yao and Shaq was playing each other, it was going to always be primetime TV. Like, it was going to be primetime.
Speaking of Shaq, he is also a nominee. That's not even close, is it?
Yeah, first ballot, most definitely. Like, you talking about one of the most dominant players in the game for quite some time. I mean, probably the last of the real big men, like the big men who wasn't out there shooting jumpers or out there at the 3-point line. I'm talking about he's the last of the bangers, the guys who made their living inside the paint. Offense and defensive rebounds, block shots, getting points. Like, yeah, he's the last of those big guys, like the Russells and Abdul Jabbars, and you can even Hakeem the Dream. Now I know I'm leaving a lot of big guys off of that list, but that's just off the top of my head, rattling off the top of my head.
I think we're kind of seeing big men as more part of the game now.
Right.
But they just have the ability to shoot now. So they stand farther away from the...
I mean, you look at Porzingis at 7'3". I mean, great shot, beautiful shot. He also can put the ball on the court. Wasn't too many guys putting the ball on the court like that back then. I mean, maybe who? Kareem? I mean, his hook shot was... He said Kareem created his own shot with that.
I'm not ready to put Porzingis on nobody's level yet. That's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right. I'm saying, like, when you look at like big guys like that, like 7'3" guys. I mean, you could even look at Kevin Durant from a 6'10" standpoint. 6'10" guys.
Nobody like Kevin Durant.
Right.
I don't think.
I don't think so either.
When you look at him, like, you could usually compare it with the way Kevin Durant plays is so finesse
right
at his height.
It's like, how are you even like 6'10"? It's like, how? Like,
he just pulls up from 3-point line as if it's nothing, and his release is so quick.
And He
and
can
it's
get
so tall you can't block it.
one of the few guys who can get to the basket from the 3-point line in 2 steps, fam. 2 steps. If you've ever been out on an NBA court, just stand at a 3-point line, know that Kevin Durant can get there and get from the 3-point line to the goal in 2 strides. Just 1, 2, and there he is. Seriously.
The only reason I don't consider that a big deal anymore is because the NBA doesn't call traveling anyway. So you can take 10 steps to get there and you'll be all right.
He say take this steps, but he's doing it the legal. He's doing it the
He
legal
can do
way.
it the legal way, but nobody else is.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. But no one's sitting there looking at the 60-mile-per-hour driver like, oh, man, that's a good dude. Everyone's looking at the 70-mile-per-hour driver.
Who's usually in some, like, well, I won't say, because I average.
What's that?
He said that's what I'm saying. Like, okay. I average about, usually the guy blowing at him like, yo, man, why are you driving 60 in the fast lane, man? You know you're supposed to be in the middle.
For doing the speed limit.
I get in the middle.
Do the speed limit. Get over. See? Follow the rules. Tom Izzo as well. I feel like putting somebody in before they retire is kind of...
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because you always have to refer to that guy.
As a Hall of Famer.
Right. Hall of Fame head coach Jim Boeheim or something like that. This is like, dude, he's still coaching technically. So we just call him coach. So now every time we see him, we got to make sure we address about Hall of Fame coach Jim Boeheim.
From Hoff.
Hoff. Yo, Hoff. What you think?
That's not what that means. I didn't know that was an acronym. I was unaware. Cheryl Swoops.
Mm-hmm.
You know she getting it.
Right.
For
I'm not a
good
fan
reason.
of her brother playing quarterback, but okay.
You ain't had to bring that. That has nothing to do with this.
I had to,
did
dude.
not.
I had to.
There's no reason.
As cold as she is, as cold as she was, her brother blows, dude, so bad.
He has nothing to do with this.
One of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in all of Division I football.
As we go into the world of the haters.
Why you hating on right now? He had nothing to do with this.
He didn't, but I just felt like I had to let everybody know who her brother is.
That's a big age difference. Just putting it out there. It's a big age difference.
Right. I mean, he was growing up like, yo, your sister cold in mud basketball. So I'm cold in football. Let's see you throw.
Hey,
Finish him.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm just saying, like, Tyrone Swoops will forever be known as the little brother to Cheryl Swoops. Period.
it's a period. Allen Iverson.
Your boy, AI.
If he don't get in, I'm gonna go.
You gonna go ballistic?
Like really though, it's gonna be on the really though. So guaranteed.
Or you gonna really know him every day till he gets in?
If I can.
And then somebody else takes the top spot, but it's like the next day. Okay.
Right
Ain't-
back on it.
To all the voters. Really though?
'Cause if you don't vote for Allen Iverson being the Hall of Fame, you is.
As we go into the world of the haters.
No, you would have to be a hater. 'Cause
Right.
He put up the numbers, and plus he was a cultural icon.
Right.
I mean, he led a whole generation of people.
Had the whole country wearing braids. It don't matter what color you was. Black, white, brown,
I mean,
purple.
Porzingis had them.
Right. He had the cornrows straight like
Yeah.
that. Straight killing them. And whatever AI design, whatever braids AI had, like design, whatever little pattern he had, everybody I know of all of a sudden is went to their hairdresser, whoever, her braid, her stylist, and had them. I need the new AI braids. Can you do it? Just like that, they would AI braid up. Even the people who hair wasn't long enough to have braids.
Oh, that was the worst part.
Right, because they hair would like come burn like right
Yeah.
there where we would get fades.
Why your braid sitting by your ear?
And then you got to know that try to hide it with your headband, trying to put a bead on it. Dude, you only got one bead. You got one
You
bead
got
on
half
that
a
braid.
bead. You got the smallest bead in the box.
God. Like, dude, you just, great job.
Really though?
I used to hate seeing that.
It's not AI's fault though.
But I'm most definitely AI first ballot Hall of Fame.
First ballot.
Most definitely.
He's
All three of those guys to me first ballot Hall of Famers.
not close. Tom Izzo, it's just like, can't you just wait until you retire for real?
True story.
Really though.
It's time.
Really though. Really though. Really though.
Things in sports to make you say, really though? Who would you like to go first?
I'll go first, and I'll make this quick for you, B. Because I think you got somebody who you just really want to unleash on. So I'm going to make this quick. My really though goes out to what started as me going to really though Roddy White and Julio Jones for their comments about Josh Norman not exactly being the best cornerback in the league. I decided to get on the whole team because let's not forget the September. This team had a September to remember. They would dominate. They was undefeated. I mean, everybody's like, yo, the Dirty Birds are back. Soaring and scoring. Atlanta Falcons. October came around. Got brought back to earth. Season went on.
They get brought down back
Got
to earth.
buried.
They got put. They didn't get brought back down to earth. They got put into the earth.
Yeah. And now they're just like, I mean, they're like that goldfish that you had as a kid. Come home, all of a sudden he's belly up. That was the Falcons right now. So it's like, I had to really know the whole team mainly because of their comments. Like, you can't sit back and try to say that one of the best players on their defense is, I guess, average, when they just blowed you out about a week ago at their place. Not to mention you just had bad timing with this. So to me, the Atlanta Falcons, before you go comment on another team that's undefeated and just drug you down, you may want to be careful because you do play them again this week at your house. So they could potentially just run you out of your own stadium. The Atlanta Falcons, really though.
So they were taking pictures on the sidelines.
Yo, LeBron James, like back when
The Cleveland Vegas first time.
Exactly. Like, I mean, pre-game, snap. Everybody dab at the same time on 3. 1, 2, 3, dab. The floor is yours.
My really though goes to Paul George. For most people out there know, I consider Paul George the runner-up in the MVP race.
Right.
The way he's played this season. I really like Paul George, but sometimes even the best people can get really though due to questionable comments.
Mm-hmm.
For those people that do not know, the Spurs played the Pacers, in which the Spurs won 106-92. The best part about this game is you were looking at Paul George versus Kawhi Leonard, two of the best NBA players in the league, especially two-way, offense and defense. So what happened in this game? Well, Kawhi Leonard finished with 24 points while defending Paul George on the other side, while Paul George shot 1 for 14 and was held to 7 points and turned the ball over 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that. He had a bad game. Kawhi Leonard's a great defender, won Defensive Player of the Year for a reason.
Right.
The problem is Paul George decided to say that he had been battling a cold for a few days, but instead of sitting it out, he played through it. All right. Maybe you were really sick. Said, I felt like I was going to throw up at times. It's still hanging around for whatever reason. Maybe it's from that terrible performance he was put on. Maybe. Then he goes on to say, I missed shots I've been making all season. I had wide open looks. I just couldn't get it to go down. Kawhi wasn't even in the play. I just couldn't make them.
Excuses.
Really though, Paul George, you can't just admit that he got the better of you this time. Y'all couldn't exchange jerseys.
Watch yourself. Oh, never mind. I'm going to put that one back.
Why can't you just admit that he got the better of you? Really though, because it's obvious he did. He scored 24 while defending you all night. You dropped 7. Season low, 7 points. That's not double digits, Paul. Then his coach go to say, hey, there was contact at the rim, but they were letting both teams play. It was a tough night. A real tough night. For one team in particular, the other team didn't seem to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi didn't have those problems.
I guess he must have forgot that one of the greatest performances in basketball was played by a guy who had the flu. Speaking of the Jordan performance back in the playoffs, he had the flu.
I don't know if he had a cold, though. He had the sniffles. He felt like he was going to throw up. Makes you want to tear up.
I'm not sure how many people died from a cold, but I know some people died from the flu. So, but okay.
I wish these two teams were in the same conference so they could play a 7-game series against each other.
Right.
I think it would be interesting to see how it would go.
Because they both would wind up guarding each other.
Yeah. I mean, Kawhi Leonard respectively held LeBron James in check
Right.
the last time they were in the finals. So
Right.
maybe he's just a good defender. Or maybe you're just missing wide open shots. Either way, it's not good, Paul.
Right.
Really, though. Coming up on the Sports Machine, pick sixes. Short week due to Christmas.
Holiday pick 6. Holiday College Bowl pick 6.
Oh, more randoms.
Yes, more randoms.
Well, there's probably a few good ones now.
Right.
We got through some of the random joints.
Exactly. Especially next
Thankfully.
week going
Yes.
on.
Oh, yes. Joel Santana, like.
Mm-hmm.
All that coming up. And, of course, somebody going to get really old. Hopefully not the NBA. Or Paul George. Because I like Paul George.
Maybe Atlanta Falcons.
The Falcons is a possibility. Because they've been talking a lot for a team that get drugged all the time now. All that's coming up tomorrow right here on the Sports Machine.
Peace out.